They want everything the world spent years trying to get rid of. Generation Z, the most connected generation in human history, is logging off.
The internet promised connection. AI promised freedom. Smartphones promised convenience. So, why is an entire generation trying to escape them? To understand why people are rejecting modern technology, we need to go back to where it all began. Back in 1983, internet-based version was launched, which lead role in 1990s became the internet what you know today. People were excited. For the first time in human history, information was no longer limited by geography. Anyone, anywhere, could connect to the world, and people loved it. But there was one problem. The internet wasn't mobile. To access it, you had to sit in front of a computer. The digital world was still limited by place. Until... Back in 2007, something changed. The internet was no longer trapped inside bulky computers. For the first time, people could carry the digital world inside their pockets. Smartphones combined everything. A telephone, a computer, a camera, all inside a single device. And people were fascinated. It felt futuristic. The world was now accessible, anytime, from anywhere. But as smartphones became smarter, they also became harder to escape. And then... At first, social media felt revolutionary. For the first time, people could share their lives instantly. Moments, memories, emotions. Distance no longer mattered. A person sitting thousands of miles away suddenly felt close. And people loved it. It felt human. Real people sharing real lives. Social media wasn't just technology anymore. It became culture. But slowly, something began to change. Artificial intelligence wasn't new, but for the first time, it became available to ordinary people. People were amazed. Machines could suddenly write, create, draw, talk, even think. What once felt impossible now felt instant. AI promised a future with less effort, faster work, infinite creativity, unlimited possibilities. But something else happened too. The internet slowly stopped feeling human. For the first time, people could no longer tell what was real. The internet connected humanity. Smartphones made it portable. Social media made it addictive. And artificial intelligence made it almost impossible to escape. What once felt exciting slowly became overwhelming. The internet was now everywhere. In our pockets, on our desks, in our classrooms, even beside us while we slept. And social media made sure we never looked away. Infinite scrolling, endless notifications, constant comparison. People weren't just consuming content anymore, they were trapped inside it. Hours turned into minutes, attention spans became shorter, and mental exhaustion became normal. And just as people were adapting to that reality, AI arrived. Suddenly, the internet exploded with artificial content. Real photographs were called fake. Real artists were accused of using AI, and fake people began looking more real than humans themselves. The line between reality and artificiality slowly disappeared. But the impact wasn't only digital. Millions of workers suddenly realized their jobs could be automated. Some adapted, others disappeared.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous.
And then came deepfakes. For the first time in history, seeing was no longer believing. Everything became faster, artificial, optimized, infinite. But somewhere in the middle of all this convenience, people began craving something human again. And that's when Gen Z started doing something unexpected. They began disconnecting. Not because old technology was better, but because it felt real. A generation raised by algorithms started rebelling against them. Digital detox, retro technology, offline living, human imperfections. After years of chasing convenience, people were finally searching for balance. Maybe technology was never meant to replace humanity. Maybe it was supposed to support it. But somewhere along the way, convenience became control. And now, an entire generation is trying to take its life back.